Have you ever walked through your neighborhood and wished it was just a little bit cleaner? Maybe you've seen a piece of trash on the sidewalk and thought, someone should really pick that up. Well, today I want to tell you a story about someone who decided to be that someone. This isn't a tale about a caped crusader or a billionaire with high-tech gadgets. This is the story of an ordinary person who became an extraordinary hero, armed with nothing more than a trash bag and a desire to make a difference. Meet Dave, a retired schoolteacher who transformed his community, one piece of litter at a time. His story is a powerful reminder that you don't need superpowers to change the world. Sometimes all you need is to care. It all started on a regular Tuesday morning. Dave was on his usual walk with his golden retriever, Buddy. He loved his neighborhood, the old oak trees, the friendly faces, the kids playing in their yards. But that morning, he noticed something that had been bothering him for a while. It wasn't just one or two stray wrappers, it was an accumulation. A plastic bottle here, a fast food bag there, a coffee cup peeking out from under a bush. It was like a slow, creeping mess that was dimming the beauty of the place he called home. He'd complained about it to his wife, grumbled about it to his neighbors, but nothing ever changed. That day, standing by the park entrance, watching Buddy sniff at a discarded pizza box, Dave had a thought. A simple but profound thought, what if I just picked it up? So he did. He picked up the pizza box and carried it to the nearest public trash can. It felt good. It was a small act, almost insignificant, but it was a start. The next day, he brought a small grocery bag with him on his walk. He filled it up before he was even halfway around the block. The day after that, he upgraded to a larger trash bag. Soon, his morning walks with Buddy weren't just for exercise, they became a mission. He started calling it his litter patrol. At first, his neighbors were a bit confused. They'd see him, a man in his late 60s, methodically stopping, bending down, and picking up other people's trash. Some would stare, some would whisper. But Dave didn't mind. He just smiled, gave a little wave, and continued his work. He wasn't doing it for applause, he was doing it for his home. Slowly but surely, a change began to happen. And it wasn't just the streets getting cleaner. The real change was happening in the people. One morning, as Dave was picking up some papers near Mrs. Gable's house, she came out with a glass of iced tea for him. "I see you out here every day, Dave," she said. "Thank you. You're inspiring me." The next week, Mrs. Gable was out in her own front yard, pulling weeds and picking up any stray bits of litter that had blown in. A few days later, the Johnson family, who lived on the corner, decided to organize a Yard of the Month contest to encourage everyone to take more pride in their properties. The prize wasn't anything fancy, just bragging rights and a little handmade sign. But it worked wonders. The real turning point came about a month into Dave's solo mission. He was walking down Elm Street when he saw two kids, probably around 10 or 11 years old, picking up candy wrappers near the bus stop. He walked over, expecting them to scatter, but instead, they looked up at him. One of them, a young boy named Leo, said, "My mom told me about what you do. We thought we could help." Dave's heart swelled. He hadn't just been cleaning the streets, he'd been planting a seed. He'd been showing, not telling, what it means to be a good neighbor. From that day on, Dave often had company on his walks. Sometimes it was Leo and his friend, sometimes it was other neighbors who decided to join in for a block or two. The litter patrol became a community event. Someone set up a social media group called the Clean Neighborhood Crew. People would post pictures of their cleanup efforts, organize weekend park beautification days, and even share tips on recycling and composting. The local hardware store caught wind of what was happening and donated a bunch of high-quality trash grabbers and heavy-duty bags. What started with one man and a grocery bag had blossomed into a full-fledged movement. The neighborhood wasn't just cleaner, it was closer. People who had lived next to each other for years but barely spoke were now laughing together as they raked leaves or planted flowers in the community garden. The change was visible everywhere. The park, which used to be littered with debris after busy weekends, was now almost spotless by Sunday evening. Property values started to rise. New families moving in would often comment on how clean and friendly the neighborhood felt. It became a selling point, a part of the community's identity. And it all traced back to Dave's simple decision to pick up that first piece of trash. He never sought the spotlight. In fact, when a local news station wanted to do a story on him, he insisted they focus on the whole community, not just him. "I just held the door open," he'd say. "Everyone else decided to walk through it." This story isn't just about picking up litter. It's about the incredible ripple effect of a single positive action. It's about leadership, not through authority, but through example. Dave didn't hold a town hall meeting or circulate a petition. He simply started doing the work. And in doing so, he gave everyone else permission to care. He showed them that they didn't have to wait for the city or for someone else to solve their problems. They had the power to create the community they wanted to live in. It is a powerful lesson in a world where we often feel helpless to change the big things. We forget that every big change is made up of countless small actions. So, what can we take away from the story of the clean neighborhood hero? First, never underestimate your own power to make a difference. Your actions, no matter how small they seem, can inspire others and create a chain reaction of positive change. Second, be the change you want to see. It's an old cliché, but it's true. If something bothers you, take the first step to fix it. You might be surprised by how many people are just waiting for someone to lead the way. And finally, community isn't just about living in the same place, it's about building something together. It's about shared responsibility and collective pride. The next time you're out for a walk and you see a piece of trash, think of Dave. Maybe you'll walk past it. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll bend down and pick it up. You never know. You might just be starting your own ripple effect. You might just become the hero your own neighborhood is waiting for. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more stories about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. See you next time.